Leo, hello. Welcome to your October 16th through the 31st, 2020. This is a five-card tarot card overall energy reading for this time frame. It is a general reading for the larger collective of Leos, and it's intended for informational purposes. The information may not resonate with all Leos, and that's perfectly okay. Please take what fits and let the rest go. To save time, I've already shuffled the cards, and I requested the universe guidance. The cards selected were ejected on their own during the shuffle. The five cards that were exited during the shuffle for this energy reading during this time period are lined up here. The first card here, Leo, represents the overall energy for past influences that were significant within the past few months. In some cases, the energy may have resolved. In other cases, it may still be lingering for. The second card here, Leo, represents the current overall energy during this time period. The third card here represents the overall energy for future energies during this time period. The fourth card represents the overall energy for any challenges that may come up during this time frame. Please keep in mind that these do not imply that challenges are negative. They are sometimes just things to be aware of, and often they come up as choices that you may need to make. And the fifth card here represents the overall energy for outcomes, your outcome energy during this time period. So in our first card here, we have our past influences, and we have, whoa, Leo, we have the major arcana, we have the sun. This is probably a wonderful, wonderful card to have, and it's showing here in your past influences. Angel and spirit guides, please help us understand for Leo, the sun being in their past influences during this reading, please. What is the intent? We know the sun represents success. It represents abundance. It's about strength. It's about positivity. It's about energy and happiness and joy. It's probably like the sun is just radiating. And for many Leos, in your recent past, you were radiating this sort of strength. And it was surrounding you, pretty much no matter what you were doing and what you were involved in. But for the most part, in all aspects of your life, you were feeling fairly positive, and you were feeling you just felt like you have a good energy, and it was following you, and people were sort of drawn to you for it. It was you radiated a warmth energy. And I think for many Leos, you found that having this sort of energy got you through any sort of tough times that you may have been presented, or any challenges that came up, because you were able to resolve them and understand them in a positive, constructive way. You were able to sort of demonstrate the highest qualities that you have. And again, the key that I'm picking up here for Leos was, again, this radiation. You were radiating this sort of energy, and you're radiating that strong lion, that leadership sort of energy. It was shining, and that you were able to express it for those that you love and care about during these past few months. Even for Leos that may have been struggling to some degree on something, the sun was shining down on you, and it was giving you that energy that you wanted and that you needed at the time, that things will get better. So the sun was radiating to help you to get through those challenges that may have come across your path, and you discovered that you were able to get through them. They weren't as difficult as you needed to if you addressed them head on, and address them with an open mind. It was positive. You were brimming with sort of that confidence, because things worked out for the most part, and that life was good. You were able to get through those challenges, and it felt good to be able to get through those, and it felt good to be able to help people if you were able to. Leo, the sun is connected you to your power base. it was not about, it wasn't a fear-driven energy. It wasn't about an egotistical power that sometimes Leos can show, but this was really about an inner energy that radiated a, a positivity, a calmness, a sense of solution. You know, it, it, it really is sort of representative of your solar plexus chakra. And what that means, it was calling you to express yourself authentically and to be present in the moment, in the world around you, and to those that were around you at the time. And you were able to demonstrate that people were drawn to you even if you didn't see it or they didn't even understand it, because you were radiating sort of this leadership quality, this calmness, this I can do it sort of attitude. But it wasn't pompous and it wasn't based on ego, and that was what was extremely noticeable. You know, you were able to tap into that power, and you were able to use that sort of divine energy to express that strength in positive ways. And I think you know that it changed your sort of attitude and sort of experience. You know, the sun is an energetic card, and it was shining down on you here in these last few months, to help you reflect that you can expect um, positive experiences in how you relate and how you communicate, and that it tied together sort of a physical energy and a sense of vitality and the overall general positivity uh, about what your accomplishments were and what your intentions were and what you're achieving, and it was about your enthusiasm, and that was you were able to demonstrate sort of uh, that again a wonderful sense of good health and wealth and emotional sort of stability that was very obvious. Yeah, that's very good, Leo. Here in our present energy, we have the two or the five of swords. However, you have the five of swords in reverse. Angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why the five of swords is in this energy reading for Leo in the present energy, please. Okay. Well, the five of swords in your reversed energy here, Leo, during this time frame. Um, for some, it's some of you may have maybe involved in some sort of communication, or where you felt you had to argue something to the end. You tried to make a point, and even if it was a valid point, you 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 kept that Leo pride uh, to push it towards the end. That no matter what, even if you were right, you wanted to charge ahead and push that. You wanted to be heard, and you pushed and you pushed and you pushed, and it doesn't. I'm not picking up that it was a negative pushing. Uh, an authoritarian or a bossy sort of pushing. It was a drive. It was you needed to make a point, and you may have even done it in a positive way. It was just you were driven to make your point because you felt you were right. And I'm picking up that in many cases you were probably right in this situation, but right, I'm picking up that you know that both you and the other party or the other situation, we're both trying to win, and we're both trying to make their point. And it got out of hand. I'm picking up that it was almost to the perhaps unknowingly, but unintentionally, it may have been at the expense of the other person or other situation. So you find yourself, Leo, you're in this sort of oppositional posture that, yes, you won your case or you won your point. It was a win or no-win situation, and you were determined to win it. You want it to be um, heard. But when you have the reversed Five of Swords in your present energy, what this is telling me, Leos, is that this is a card of conflict. It's a card of tension. It's a card of disagreement. And when it's in the reverse position, for Leos, it's sort of a reminder that this period of fighting, this argument that was going on, that you, and perhaps it's over now, but you wanted it to be over. You want, you're glad it's over because it took a lot of energy. And what you're wanting to do right now is sort of forgive and forget, of being challenged. And you're wanting to sort of focus your energy on perhaps more constructive things. Um, and this sort of conflict is sort of asking you to examine, was the conflict worth it, even if you were right? And you may be struggling with that because it may have, even though you may have been right, the bigger picture is how important was the issue, um, and was it a constructive sort of activity? And now I feel that, so for some Leos, there may be a constraint in the relationship, um, whether on the other person or on both, or just by you. You might be feeling this on your own, but I'm feeling that there's some sort of uh, wanting to restore the relationship. It changed the relationship somehow, because of this win. I have to win by no means sort of situation. Um, and again, I'm not picking up it was a huge, knockout, drug out argument. It could have been a very politically correct, constructive argument in many cases, but it's not the process so much. It was, you were determined to get your point across at no cost, even if it was an appropriate sort of cost. But you want it to be heard, and you want it to win it, and even if you were right, and that's not the point. Yeah, it's just you're sort of examining now, was it worth it? It's one of those things of, do we pick our battles? What is it that we pick our battles to push for? And I think I'm picking up that you might be asking yourself, was this something so important that it was worth doing this, in the end? Um, yeah, it's about, because I think you're feeling there's a strain on the relationship somehow, and what you're wanting to do is bring that relationship back to sort of normal, because in many cases it wasn't really about winning or losing, um, and in the end, how important was it? The Five of Swords in reverse is about being able to express conflict in your life, um, and sometimes perhaps you may have wanted to walk away from it in the past, but maybe it follows you. So maybe it's just a sore issue between family members, or something at work that sort of comes up every once in a while, and it's like, I thought we resolved this. But it's sort of perhaps a recurring sort of issue or theme that pops up, um, and and I think you, the Leo, you might be feeling challenged, and you want to sort of bring up you want to make your point again, that either you thought it was resolved, and so you're pushing to show that it resolved in some case. Um, and this could be, perhaps there's an ex in your life that's making things difficult for you, or it's a family member that's, uh, bringing something up to you, or perhaps one or the other, you're wanting to move on, or whatever. But it's a conflict in tension, and it brings up sort of a raw emotion, um, that are at play here, and now you're sort of, it could be the other person, but I'm picking up for Leo. Now you're sort of wanting to avoid the person, and perhaps you're just wanting to avoid the situation. It's the aftermath, you know. And for some Leos, the reverse Five of Swords is also sort of, it could have been an old wound, so to speak, that's been reopened, and you're experiencing the fear and tension associated with that memory. You may be particularly worried that the history might repeat itself, or that you could be hurt again. Um, and this card here, if that's the case, this is, in your present energy to encourage you to forgive and to forget so that you can indeed move on. Release your past hurts. Release who may have hurt you, because right now it doesn't serve you, and that can help you. These sort of residual resentments that can bring up every once in a while, and we all have them, can follow you, and whether it's a recent one or a past argument with someone close to you, uh, this is really about someone that you've had a very challenging and heated conversation with together. And both of you probably still harbor some sort of negative emotion about these sort of discussions. Um, and so if the conflict remains unresolved or unaddressed, it's quite possible, I'm picking up, that it's impacting your ability to create sort of an harmonious relationship. And I'm picking up that you do want some sort of peaceful relationship. Um, and sort of letting go of the bad juju, so to speak. The Five of Swords here, Leo, in reverse is telling me that, that after this conflict, and I'm picking up this conflict has already occurred, that you're wanting to move forward with your life, and you're wanting to create again that positive change. You want to get back to where the sun was, the sun energy. So, and you're wanting to ground yourself. So, your goal is to get back to this radiant energy that you've had, and it doesn't mean you've lost it by any means. I'm not picking up that you've lost this radiant energy. It's just some situation has arisen or has arisen, and it's sort of taken a back step, and it's a reoccurring one that sort of pops up every once in a while. So, and yet you're wanting to move past it. So, what I'm picking up here is that, the issue you might be asking yourself is, how can you create a win-win situation or a win-win solution? And we know, Leo, God bless your souls, but sometimes compromise isn't always your first solution. And this card is suggesting to you that even no matter how right you are, how important is this issue in the scheme of things? And it sounds like to me that the relationship, or at least a calmness in the relationship, is more important to you right now than what winning was. And in order to sort of balance this out, you may need to just suck it up and apologize for pushing, even if it's biting your lip. But it's okay to ask for forgiveness, and it will mean a lot for you, Leo, if you make the initiative to make the amends and presenting in a compromised way. And what you'll find, I think, Leo, is you have this strength, and I think it will mean the world to the other person if you stepped up to the plate and humbly, not overdoing it, but just say, listen, you're more important than this situation is. How can we compromise? That's it. I get the feeling that this other person will cherish that, and it will mean a lot for them that it will benefit you. I pick up it will benefit you greatly if you did something as simple as that, and your mind and heart will be at ease, which is really what you're wanting, and you'll get back to this sun radiating energy here that you're desiring. All right, Leo, you have the Two of Swords here in your future energies. So, angel and spirit guides, help us understand why the Two of Swords is in Leo's current energy for their future energies here in this reading, please. Leo, the Two of Swords indicates that many of you are sort of facing, again, this challenging situation, and that you're unclear about what option to take. Both possibilities seem equally good to you, or they could perhaps equally bad, but I'm picking up could be equally good. But you're stumped about which will lead you to the best outcome. And you've been sort of spending energy on weighing the pros and cons of each sort of option. And you're trying to make a conscious judgment. You're wanting to use your head, which is your mind and your intellect, and you're wanting to use your heart, which is your feeling and your intuition. And it's the challenge in your this sort of what your future here is sort of is what path do you want to take? And the question is that you're asking is, what's in most alignment with your higher self? So this may be related to you had this wonderful energy that everyone was looking at, and then somehow some issue has rearisen. You still have your high energy, but there's something that's a takeaway. There's something that's just popped up, a reoccurring issue, and even though you're right, it's resonating with you. And in your future energy here, I think it ties into this sort of what the Two of Swords here is, that compromise. If you want to get past this and get back to the sun, compromise. It's not going to cost you a lot, and in the end, you're going to win everything. And we know, Leo, it's very hard for you to sort of pridefully do so, but you're in a space right now that I think this future sort of energy decision you're making is, I think you know that. Do you hang on to your pride, or do you just step forward and say, hey, how can we compromise? You're more important to me than this issue is, but can we compromise on understanding? And I think that is what's going to choose. That's the decision that's going to make you, that's going to give you that alignment that you're looking for, that alignment in your higher self to get you back here. So again, the spirit guides are saying it's helpful to draw, from two cards on the either side of your there's Two of Swords here, and if you look at these two as we just did, it's very much related. Great times, but some energy things negative going on here, and even if you're right, you're feeling it, and you're questioning, was it worth it, because the relationship was probably more worth it than what the issue was. And here you are. What do you do? So, to help you make this decision is, again, if you look in the Two of Swords, the person here is looking down. And this is indicative, Leo, that, you're feeling that you need to do something about it, and you're feeling that, whatever it is bothering you. And you're stuck in a sense that you can't move forward. So, but if you look at here, the reason why you're sort of stuck is because you're looking down in one direction. You're seeing it from only your point of view. And what it's indicative of, if you just sort of lifted your head up and looked around, you might see the bigger picture. It'll help you to see the bigger picture. You'll be in a better position to sort of choose the best path forward and understand, have a better understanding of what the issue was. And as it was pointed out here, yes, you may have been right, but was it worth the energy strain on the relationship? And I'm picking up here that even you're sort of second guessing that it's nice to be right. However, was it worth it again? And back to, you pick your battles as perhaps you're reaching the age or a sense of maturity, no matter how old you are, but there's, something that sort of hits you and go, geesh, was it worth it? Was standing my ground on this particular topic so crucial at the expense of this relationship? And how do I fix it? And remember, Leos, you can be strong, and you can exhibit an authoritarian and that leadership and sometimes a little bossy, even if you don't intend to be. But you can, you can roar, let's just say that, when you're trying to make a point, even if it's for good intentions. And in this case, it's the question is coming up is that perhaps it wasn't necessary, and you might be feeling that it wasn't necessary, and that's your struggle. And to get yourself to find that answer for this future, because you're looking one direction, look around, lift your head up, look around, and you'll find your answer. um, and you'll get back to where you need to be. It will help you get back to here, which is where you ultimately are wanting to be. So it's about sort of you're at a point here of sort of reflecting this indecision, and you're at an impasse, and it's an internal issue, and it's an important issue, but is it life threatening? Is it so vital that it's worth feeling the way you are? If it wasn't as important and critical, you wouldn't be feeling this way, Leo. That's the thing. You're feeling this way because it wasn't this critical to push, even if it was appropriate. That's the point. That's the energy I'm picking up here. You wouldn't be feeling this way. Yes, you're right, but you wouldn't be questioning. You're, I don't know if that makes sense. Your questioning is, was the issue that big? And now, what do you do about it? So, again, it's lifting your head up and looking at. You do have options. Look around and compromise, and realize that you can only put it off so long. It's gonna be a bump that until you address it, you're gonna feel this way. The Two of Swords comes as a reminder, Leo, that in many life decisions, yes, they're difficult. There are difficult ones, um, and sometimes they rarely come with clean-cut answers. So this is an invitation for you, Leo, to sort of to re-examine your choices, and put them in alignment with your best intentions, which I believe I'm feeling that is what you're wanting to do, Leo. You're wanting to resolve something. So you're sort of questioning what your intentions are, and that there are possible consequences for the path that you take. So if you even if you're right and you push sort of your solution on this, even if it's constructive, you're questioning, there's a consequence for this, and was it worth it? So avoiding dealing with this is creating this sort of conflict and stagnation within you, Leo. And this is suggesting that in order to get this through is step forward to this person or situation and just say you thought about it and you value the person. Can we compromise? And I think that message right there will be so powerful, because people do look to you, Leo, and they will appreciate that you, Leo, the prideful lion, was able to humbly come forward without making them look bad, without making them look sad, without admitting anything. You just are coming forward to say you're important to me, and that right there means more than anything. And reach a compromise, and this will resolve. All right, Leo. And our challenges. Well, we have the Ten of Cups. Now, this doesn't mean it's a negative. Ten of Cups is actually a very good thing. So I'm picking up, well, let me see. Let's just go. Angel Spirit Guides. The Ten of Cups here for Leo during this time frame, please. What is the message, the energy message for Leo's during this time frame? Ten of Cups. Well, the Ten of Cups is embodying that sense of happiness, emotional contentment. It's about love, and wanting to have joy, and it's in again an emotional contentment, particularly within family or people that are closest to you. And family doesn't mean by blood; it's just whoever you consider uh, that family, um, because you're wanting to sort of get back to where you were here. There was this overall sense, and I'm picking up that this issue here sort of just put you. It's not your all life, but it's just one little thing that's sort of nudging at you, and you want to get back to here. So you're going to deal with this, and because here in your challenges, which is a positive thing, it's about choices. Actually, I think I'm picking up for you. This is going to say that if you deal with this issue here, you're going to get back to this feeling of happiness in your life, and you're going to want to be able to share this. You want to get back to this where you're radiating this sunshine here. And the Ten of Cups is about positivity. It is about abundance, and it's about sharing, and it's about having deep connections. It's about appreciating and supporting others and those that you care for, and about doing it together, not separately. You want to help each other, and you want to help others to be at their highest potential. It's because this brings you, Leo, a lot of joy to see that the people that you care about succeed and live happy lives. And you are giving, and you are uh, wanting to share, and you're wanting to help people through their challenges. Yes, it's a struggle if they don't follow your direction, but it's not about that. This right now is that you want to get back to here so that you can go back to these cups, sharing these cups, um, getting back to that surrounding of love. You want that harmonious, loving, and feeling right, and you want it back. You've experienced it, and it's meant a lot. You want to get back to where there's no arguing and there's no tension. You want your family, whoever they may be, to get along, and you want to share. We're also coming into the holidays, and you want that to be happy and meaningful. So this card is appearing in your challenges, Leo, is because you want to deal with this issue so that you can get back to this overall radiating feeling. Um, um, and again, I'm picking up because the holidays are coming around. There's Thanksgiving and Christmas. Those are holiday family periods, and you're wanting to resolve this. You're wanting to have that this harmonious sort of atmosphere coming up. You want to have happy family memories and strong bonds. And I hate to say it, you've experienced the sun. You loved it. It felt good. You need to get back to this. So the Ten of Cups is again is a positive card. For some Leos, it's about romantic relationships. It may indicate that you might be on the verge, or you've met somebody that you're feeling a strong commitment to, or a relationship. Now, this could also be even in a friend. You've met somebody who you're just connecting with in a friendly way, that you feel a special energy for. It could be romantic, or the possibilities of romantic. For some, it could be someone who's engaged, or you're involved with somebody who's getting engaged or married if it's not you, or they're starting a family together. So again, you're experiencing, even on the sidelines if you're not directly involved, but you're part of that energy, um, and you're wanting to be a part of, if not for yourself, that's everlasting sort of love, um, and and like family connection, if not an individual connection with somebody. Um, yeah, you're hooked. You Leo, that sun, that's your, I hate to say it, that's your crack right now. You are wanting this. You are wanting this so bad because you experienced it probably for the first time in your life in a long time, and you are hooked. You want it back. Yes, obstacles happen, but I'm picking up that you're smart enough to understand this is your baseline. You can get through any sort of obstacle, even this one and any future ones, because you've reached a point where, wow, you have the wow factor, and you want to get through this in the positive ways and not hang on to negativity. Um, it's a growth moment. Um, so this is about, you're at a point where you're creating that's you understand the connection between joy and harmony, and connecting your heart with your mind and your intuition, and no longer really about your making decisions based on your ego or your pride. The Ten of Cups is encouraging, Leos, for you to follow your heart and to trust your intuition and let that guide you and lead you. Because opportunities here are, with this sunshine, you are feeling it with this sunshine, that you will be aligned with your highest good. And if you are feeling good, you will radiate it to everybody else, Leo, because that golden mane of yours will shine. Um, I'd say I'm picturing, a Disney character who's standing on the rock and the sun's shining behind them and the wind's blowing in their mane, and the mane is beautiful and flowing, and there's this leadership and this pride, and a positive pride, and love, and wanting and looking out over your, the desert that you rule. That's where you want to be. This sunshine here is your lion mane, and you want it to be fluffy and smell good and flowing. So you know what to do. You might be feeling stuck, but allow your inner guidance to lead you the way. Um, Leo, seek out the opportunities that will fulfill you and align you with that personal values that you're seeking and that you're wanting, because it will get you back on that path, and you feel there's an expectation, not because others want it from you, but you're wanting it, and you've sort of put the connection that if you're at this sunny moment here, people around you who mean something to you radiate it as well, and it's a dual energy. Hmm. Oops. Finally, my cards here. In our fifth energy, we have the Princess of Swords. It is also, like I said before, any other tarot cards, it's called the Page. We know that the pages in all the tarot decks are messenger cards. So this is in your outcome. Angel and Spirit Guides, help us understand for Leo why the Princess or Page of Swords is in their outcomes for this energy reading, please. Well, as we know with the overall reading here, Leo, is that the Princess or Page of Swords is a energy, passion, and enthusiasm card, and it's about messages that bring sort of energy, passion, and enthusiasm. This is reflecting. I'm picking up that in your outcomes that you, Leo, are bursting with new ideas. You're bursting with ideas and plans for the future. You're excited. You've felt this sunshine, and it's your energy driving you. It's your spark. Um, and you've realized that when you're feeling that way, you can approach new projects, uh, new situations, new people, new work, new hobbies, anything. If you approach it with this sort of positive energy and this a wanting and this encouragement and joy, that you will learn things, you will learn more. It's an energy that reflects more energy. Um, and you're feeling that you can do almost anything. So, you know, this is encouraging you here to keep it up. It's about, you know, it ties into your challenge card here. Deal with this issue that's a little stumbling block, and you will be back on track with all the positivity. And then, of course, remembering how to resolve these sort of stumbling blocks that come up, Leo, because they're going to come up. That's part of life. But now you're feeling a way to get through these sort of things constructively, and And you can learn from these sort of challenges, and that's the exciting part here. They're not things that are going to set you back, and others can learn from you in how you handle these sort of situations, and that's the key here. um, you know, this is about wanting to continue this exploratory sort of phase, and continue to master this. You're feeling it. Um, you know, and again, you realize that there will be some stumbling blocks throughout this energy process, but you have a curiosity now that if you can resolve this issue, and that it didn't take a lot, it wasn't inexpensive, your pride or your ego, um, you found out what was more important, and once that issue of more importance, that the person was more important than being right, it sort of exudes and plays off each other. It's the it's throwing the pebble in the lake and the ripple effect. That's the imaging that I'm getting. That you want it to ripple and carry forward, because you still benefit from that, and so does everyone else around you, and that's what's key. It brings this overall harmonious energy that you want to feed off, and others will feed off, and that's a great place to be in, particularly at this stage. The swords relates to communication, and here, the page or the Princess of Swords is about having you explore, continue to explore different ways of expressing yourself, Leo, and with others. It's in how you communicate your ideas and opinions. It can draw you to sort of public speaking, if that's the case, or speaking outside of an individual issue. Um, you know, it's you could start a blog, you could whatever. You could channel your sort of ideas in different ways. Um, it's helping you to sort of understand that you're a natural communicator when you see all the bigger picture. And this card is going to help you take it to the next step. It's going to help take you your message, whatever it may be, even if it's just personal messages and communication with those closest to you. But it's going to radiate, and you've been in this exploratory phase of, oh wow, life doesn't have to be horrible when conflict comes up. I don't have to hang on to my pride. Um, yeah, I can still be right but compromise. Hmm. I can still express my point, and if I feel I'm just expressing my point to make a point, I might be able to catch this in the future and go, aha, how important is this really to me? Hmm. That's the learning lesson. So again, this is a message of continue to explore new ways of expressing yourself, Leo, um, and discovering, that you have an abundance of inner talents waiting to burst out, and how to express yourself that is good for you and your higher power and for those around you. So, Leo, if you're looking for a sign to sort of move ahead, whether it's move ahead with what the decision is to do here or other things, this is about go for it. Um, it's about saying to you that yes, there will always be challenges, and with whatever you choose, there's going to be challenges. Not everyone's going to be thrilled with your choices, but when it comes down to it, you need to follow your passion, and you need to follow your true energy. Um, if it is for the good, of course. Um, you know, the messenger cards here are encouraging you to move forward and to get the wheels in motion. Um, and that challenge will pass if you approach them appropriately. Um, and the Princess or Page of Swords is representing, if I'm picking up, it's more about this relationship right now with this person. It's about exploring their ability to to communicate and to help them share ideas and gather information. Um, you may have moments with this message, at times, but the sword's messenger is helping you to express and communicate, and in a way to keep tension and conflict at minimum. And it's helping you bundle that sort of negative energy into something that's more positive, and that you can work through. You and the other person can work through. So right now, I want to say that this message is also, Leo, about giving yourself a break. Um, whatever you feel towards this other person, let it go and release it. Release yourself from whatever you were feeling for, and you will approach this other person in the situation with a new set of eyes. Uh, I'm picking up, they have a lot to share with you, and they may be inexperienced in how they communicate, and they may not understand you. And this is your opportunity to teach them something about yourself. So this card is encouraging in the situation is work through this and be open to their enthusiasm, um, and be open to their ways of thinking, and perhaps you might have shut them down unknowingly. But don't beat yourself up for it, Leo. It's a learning. It's a process. Um, but don't ignore it. This is important to you for some reason. So you want to get through this whatever this stalemate is here, because the bigger picture is you want to get back to this radiating sun, which is going to bring you all of these 10 of cups and joy surrounding you. And that's the message. So, wow, Leo, thank you so very much. Thank you for watching this video. I definitely appreciate it. If you would like to support my channel, the YouTube algorithms depend on several things. It doesn't really impact you too much, but it impacts me in the channel, and it's by clicking on the big three if you haven't done so already. Click the like this video button, please. Click the subscribe if you haven't already. I would definitely appreciate it, to my channel, and click on the notification button if you haven't already. Those things are critical to YouTube algorithms in how they promote videos. And also, please feel free to leave a comment if you felt any part of this reading was applicable to you, Leos. And again, it may not resonate with every Leo. There's could be different reasons, your rising signs, whatever else, your cross watchers. But if part of it fit, great. If none of it fit, that's totally okay. It just means it wasn't for you this time. So, but if you'd like to leave a comment, and if any of it related, I'd love to hear from it and appreciate it. And thank you so much, Leo. Have a happy Halloween, and we'll see you in November. Enjoy.